Hello from Hamburg, Germany. Sometimes businesses build a legend. Sometimes they even intend to build a legend and are successful. One of the most successful ones was Apple, of course, Apple Computers. And in the realm of nightclubs, one of the most successful ones was the Studio 54 in New York City, run by Stephen Rubell. Many years later, somebody tried to build a similar legend in Dubai. Management wanted a fairly standard analysis, the usual questions about revenue, margin, cost structure. Of course, this kind of business, nightclubs, are driven very much by the number of guests. I was supposed to suggest a monthly report that would make sense for this kind of business, and I should see if anything stands out, anything catches my eye, looks unusual or weird. In a BI project, always think budget. And in this case, the owner specifically said, please keep it simple, build in nothing fancy, it doesn't have to look great, I'm not in the fashion business. And I'm only going to look at the reports myself anyway. I don't have to show them to anybody else. I don't have employees that would look at them. I have a few employees, but they wouldn't be making this kind of business decisions anyway. Therefore, keep it really simple. I just want to answer some business questions, and that's it. The nightclub hosts regular events, which are just regular dance nights, with maybe some dancers showing up, some dancers who make interesting moves and look nice. Then you have theme events where people ask to dress up in a certain way or wear a certain makeup or a certain kind of mask. It might be about a certain style or about a certain TV show. And then you have super events, which may be boxing or kickboxing fights between famous fighters that are worth a high ticket price. It may be a movie premiere where the director or the stars show up in person. Celebrity is an important part of the legend here, and it is actually really a thing that certain people, like a beautiful lady who is named after a famous hotel in a European capital, shows up, or a group of ladies with an Armenian last name show up and they get some nice cash just for showing up and looking great. And some ladies who just look great, sans fame, they get let in for free. So first we have an analysis of guests and sales types. I think they opened July 2022 or something, so yeah, the relations between those don't change too much. We have a regular ticket sale, we have theme event tickets, we have super event tickets. Attractive young women are let in for free to attract the men, or club members get in for free. They also say sell club membership. So far the membership sales are so small they don't really show up. But you see, even though you have only a small number of super event guests, they drive the revenue because the ticket price is really high. Like the owner said, keep it simple. I don't need a logo on every page. I don't need this to look fancy. So first we did an analysis over all the different cost types, but you can see there's a few cost types that are really high, and then the rest is tiny. A lot of them are really, really tiny in amount. By the way, that interesting currency symbol is the dirham of the United Arab Emirates, and to get to dollars you divide it roughly by 4. So then we accumulated some of the costs. So dancers and DJs were summarized under talent and other. Yeah, this is other because it's, each category for itself really isn't so much. So it makes sense to group these. And what is quite smart, from the beginning, the owner separated in his own accounting the costs for the super events, because that involves like some really large payments for famous people. The costs for the theme events, where he might hire some minor actors. And marketing and promotion is quite high. When it comes to the events, the owner was mostly interested in the theme events and the super events, because the regular events, they sell a high number of tickets, but they don't contribute too much to the revenue. So he wanted the timeline for those two: revenue, cost, and margin. Here there was some not so good calculation. There was a bit money lost on a certain event. That doesn't happen too much. That happened here too. Yeah, there was actually a negative margin. So yeah, there was a little bit of miscalculation, or expectations were not met. Here we have the numbers of guests in the timeline for all types of events, and then a revenue timeline for the regular events. Both are slightly on the way up. Looks like the business came out of the gates pretty strong. If you have a good network in the hospitality industry, in the event industry, that can happen. So this guy knows what he's doing, and he knows the right people, obviously. You can see in the revenue by event type, again, it's a donut chart is appropriate here because it's only 3 different categories. You see the super events are by far the highest. They bring the highest revenue. The theme events are second, and the regular events are pretty small in revenue, not in number of guests, but in revenue, because the theme and super events have much higher ticket prices. And also, when it comes to the margin, super events are by far the highest. Theme events are quite good, and regular events are not so high in margin. And here comes the 2-part monthly report that we developed together. The guy said, I don't need a headline. I'm just going to explore this for myself anyway. Nobody else is going to see this. And this is how I would have built it pretty much myself in Power BI if I knew how to do it. I just helped him with some visuals and some DAX, some advice which visuals to use, which are probably best, and just write the correct formulas to calculate all the numbers. Yeah. So they didn't. When did they actually open? It was April 2022. Okay. So yeah, I like to tell stories often with tables and data bars. I think they tell the story quite well. You can see if you only have one super event, you don't have as much revenue. The more super events you have, the more revenue you have, because they are the main drivers of revenue. Of course, there are also quite some drivers of cost, because it costs a lot to get these shows on the road, or into the building rather. Yeah, but that's what brings the main profit. But the rest of the time, you need to keep the legend alive. You need to keep people interested, and you need to keep people coming. And those who buy the regular tickets, they should be dreaming of affording the super event ticket at some point. And I'm sure quite a few of them will actually save money to get into the super events one day. And this is the second part for revenue to profit. I really like these funnel charts. The net profit ratio really isn't anything to sneeze at, right? Here it's just 24%, which is already pretty good. And here it's 67%. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's because he sells a story. What gets you the extra revenue, the extra profit, is the story. Apple was the best company in economic history to sell a story. That's why they had the highest net profit ratio, I think, more or less in history. And it's the story that gets you the extra money. Revenue to margin. Super events we have down here, and theme events down here. They also have a pretty good margin. That's not yet profit, but the margin also is quite good. The cost and revenue for drinks are next to nothing. It's just a minor cost factor, but of course you can hardly run events like that without serving drinks. So you could even serve the drinks for free. It wouldn't make too much of a difference here. So that wraps it up. A nice little Power BI file for the owner himself to explore his business and answer his business questions. At the end, as usual, have fun, Godspeed, see you next time.
Some new data just came in. They say that the most attractive men of all are controllers and business analysts. I wonder who collected and evaluated these data. Ah, I see. A controller and business analyst from Hamburg, Germany. Possibly he is a little biased.